Hi, welcome into this OnDeck review where I will be showing you the hard truths once and for all, the pros and cons, alternatives, and most importantly, the question on your mind right now. Is OnDeck legit? Yes, they are. However, that doesn't necessarily mean they are best for you and your needs now and in the future. And I will be getting into why that is. But before so, my name is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm an expert business loan broker who's been doing this for a long time, as well as a small business owner like yourself and business owner of any magnitude. And I can say that I've helped out a lot of businesses of different backgrounds and industries with different types of services. And I give you the proper education, step by step, A to Z, so you know with the 100% confidence and certainty that before you walk into that application, you know without a shadow of a doubt that you have a higher chance of getting approved, no questions asked, not wasting time making mistakes after mistakes. Now let's jump right into this. You're seeing the homepage of OnDeck, small business lending. That's fast and easy. There's a big blue button there. You can click on to get started. I want to get this quickly out of the way. Most people, they believe they should turn to OnDeck because they've been hearing about them. They've been seeing ads. They're probably pumping up a lot of money to put these ads out in front of you, or you heard about it from someone else. And I'm not saying they're not credible because they really are. I've worked with them and I understand how they work with different brokers in that regard and seeing, okay, well, what can they get done and what can't get done? And a lot of individuals, they end up going here or other similar situations where you're not applying to the right source. You're probably looking at A tier funding when you're a B or C or D tier client and you're applying to like an OnDeck at an A tier level where, hey, you should be applying over here to be a C tier. And now you're giving information to someone and you're not sure how exactly they're going to be looking over your file. You wasted energy and time going through it. This isn't the best route to go. The other ways you would have got more maximum funding, better terms, better rates, less scrutinizing. So there's a difference between going always to a direct lender and going indirectly. And there's a brokerage, and there may be a partnership I already have where it's already within that brokerage, and it's best to do it that way because of flexibility. So A plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, 14 billion delivered to businesses globally. Trustpilot score 4.8, 3,596 plus reviews. Your business's needs options. We've got different loans available for you, and I'll get into those even deeper. OnDeck line of credit, you can use this for managing your cash flow, such as buying your inventory or making payroll. Get a revolving credit line with access to cash when you need it. You can click there on learn more. Loan amounts go from 6K to 100K, 12-month repayment terms reset after each withdrawal. The OnDeck term loan, used for investments in your business, such as expansion projects or large purchases, get a one-time lump sum of cash up front with the option to apply for more when you're halfway paid down. That's how they work. Loan amounts that go from 5K to 250,000, so more than the line of credit. Repayment terms up to 24 months. And even in instances, there are cases like with the cash advances or the term loans, additional line of credit on top of that, cash advance with the line of credit. So there are ways to adding multiple services. And if you can qualify for an SBA loan down the road or now, you can use some of these things like bridge funding, and I'll show you the best ways with the best lenders and providers. And the perfect combo of speed and service, and it's easy to get started. Step one, complete the application. Step two, get a decision. Step three, receive your funds. And what I would recommend is not directly always going to OnDeck. There are other alternatives. OnDeck may be on the table, it may not be, but you also want to know what else is available with it being very safe and secure, not running up multiple inquiries because that's what we won't do. Other online marketplaces you have to be careful of, but we protect your privacy. And we'll go, hey, we'll entice the fact, entertain it, but this lender is actually much better for you. So you have to be very careful. You may not be the right type of lending client for this type of situation with OnDeck. So minimum eligibility requirements for an OnDeck term loan or line of credit, minimum requirements of 1 year time in business, personal FICO score of 625, business annual revenue of 100K, business bank account, yes. And there's more to this that can be scrutinizing if you try to go through them. And you maybe have, you're trying to consolidate or see what other situations are available, what can get me a better strategic partnership and the right roadmap, and what will work in your best interest. We lend to over 700 industries, but there are some industries we cannot serve. See a list of restricted industries there. In addition, OnDeck does not lend to businesses in Nevada, North Dakota, or South Dakota, so that may be a downfall if that's where you're located. Online doesn't have to be personal. With OnDeck, you get real people to talk to. Dedicated US-based loan advisors available to help you every step of the way. Here's what business owners are like you are saying. Thanks for the help. thorough and clear, fast and very an easy experience. Francisco, John and on deck are where you want to be. John was amazing and explained everything in detail. The process took a few hours, and there are more we can go through right here. Great onboarding experience, very detailed explanations, and worked with my needs. Easy process. John made this setup very easy. Appreciate you, John. Give us a call, get started, and we'll go through some of the options for you quickly. And in case you do need help getting business financing, by the way, I have this free questionnaire form you can fill out down below in the description. It'll look like this more or less if you come onto it. And then click here for non-startup business if you are, startup if you are that one. And you'll see a page that looks similar to this where you can get a very personalized and customized email response on your best funding option and options, very thoroughly broken down by myself as an expert business loan broker. I've been doing this a long time. And I know this that it's one thing to see one lender, but you also might want to see multiple ones. It's one thing to look at them. It's another thing to apply to them and be very careful about who you're applying to, how many times you're applying. That's another thing. And so this I'll show you down. I'll pre-underwrite a file for you. I'll even say if OnDeck is even a chance. And even if it were, it wouldn't make sense to start with them. There would be another thing to do. And in other instances, it does, but it's preferable that we look at it in an in-house look like this to do. Now back to here. Small business loans, they will focus on a couple. That's where they don't have a lot in terms of like, hey, there's this whole equipment financing, real estate financing, et cetera. And that's not necessarily a con because they're focused and specialized on this, on the unsecured term loans, a lot of it, and unsecured financing products. Business loans on your terms. Every business is different. You can't customize your OnDeck short-term loan to meet your needs. Short-term loans are a great option for borrowers who need funds for a specific business investment, like starting a new project, expanding or making a large purchase that can't be covered with a credit card. As a type of installment loan, an OnDeck short-term loan offers a non-one-time lump sum of a cash to use for your business and how you see fit. You have your funds in your bank account as early as the day your loan is approved, and you can pay it back on your schedule to match your specific project timeline. About them, loans amount 5K to 250K, repayment terms of 24 months, automatic daily or weekly payments. Benefits, same day funding is possible, standard ACH bank transfers. Can take up to 3 business days, but with OnDeck, you can get funds in your business bank account by 5 p.m. the same day. Prepayment benefits, if you qualify for a 100% prepayment benefit option, pay your loan off early, in full have all remaining interest waived without any penalty or fee. Loyalty benefits, business credit building by making on-time payments, which will report to bureaus if you even have somewhat of a business credit profile put together. And that's another question at mine. If you want to learn how to build your business credit appropriately, I'll leave information down below. Hopefully it's still there. I sometimes move things around. Prepayment benefits, if you can qualify for 100% prepayment, as I said, predictable fixed payments, transparent pricing, smart box, capital tool, which we'll go into rather quickly in a moment. A short-term loan can solve your specific business needs 4 ways. You can see that there. Step 1, you complete the application. Step 2, you get a decision. Step 3, you receive your funds. What other business owners have done with their OnDeck short-term loans? When we're first starting out, we were not able to get traditional funding because there isn't funding for small business through traditional banks. They want you to perform first before they help you. Luckily, we came across OnDeck, and we're great for the flexibility they've offered us over the years as we've grown. You see more reviews there. FAQs. I'm going to quickly skim through this, and I'm going to go through another product. Minimum eligibility, you can see 100K, 605 FICO, 1 year business bank account. Now back to the line of credit. 6K to 100K, 12-month repayment, automatic weekly repayments, instant funding. I'm going to go through this rather quickly. Consolidated payment for all withdrawals, only pay for what you borrow, revolving credit, no prepayment penalties, transparent pricing, smart box capital. We'll look at that in a moment. And then 1 year, 625, 100K. Yes, on that. But there's more to this process than just seeing that at face value. And I can help you with those. Open your business. There's more people, what they're saying on the line of credit. Just going to quickly give you a glance. You can replay this. Go back. Smart box. Can you get a credit increase? I mean, yeah, there are those. I mean, if you're making payments on time and over time, you can. How does business credit building work? That's what I can work with you on. I have a very great way to do this. And then Smartbox Capital comparison tool. Easy for you to understand your loan terms before you sign on the dotted line. So you can compare example loan amounts for each of these situations, disbursement amount, repayment amount, term, repaid weekly, if there were that. That's what you would see. And the annual total cost of capital, interest expense, origination fees, other fees, if any, total cost of capital. This is the total amount of interest and other fees for the loan. The amount does not include fees and other charges you can avoid, such as a late payment fees and return payment fees. Annual percentage, your loan will have weekly repayments of, and then APR, and then average monthly payment. There you see what the average monthly payment comes out to be. Cents on the dollar, prepayment, boom. So up here, this tool is provided to help you understand the access and assess the cost of your small business financing when you're given an on-deck offer. Which others, it's not specifically just to OnDeck. There are other lenders out there that can do similar things, more or less. So you'll see that smart box tool. Now, let me come back to here. Go through this, how they got started. I'll give you a quick glance. See that winner of Lending Street's Customer Satisfaction Award. For every $1 lent to small business through our online lender, sales increased by an average of this amount. And who's created 3.79 in gross economic output in their local communities. Core principles. Take your business further. So they are a high standard, just so you know this. And that doesn't necessarily mean you will be getting approved for them. You have to understand that there are other lenders that can be better off for you, and it may not be OnDeck. And just applying over and over to the same place can get you declined just because of that. And there are more reasons that they've given you, and you haven't fixed the diagnosis, rather mask symptoms. A plus bureau, just some complaints here. I borrowed money from OnDeck, which we have had trouble paying back. They're treating me unfairly, trying to offer a payment plan. The only thing that's offered during COVID is the shutdown, with no income at the time. Well, that's not a problem of OnDeck. That's a problem of you, your reflection of that. It doesn't work like an SBA loan where there's some kind of deferment or forgiveness. I don't understand a company that will not offer anything or even negotiates. There are some circumstances, even with a stronger relationship, but if you're just getting started a lot of the time. The attorneys representing them never to answer that. So you might be looking at a restructuring or a debt consolidation. Let's see. It's placed in the bank account. My name is not on the levy, and I have a disability on my check. It's based being withheld. I spoke to the bank today. Hi, we seem to not find you in our system. Can you please reach out to us? So there are sometimes people who act on behalf of OnDeck, where they try to call them on behalf of somewhat of their number or a different number, acting to be like them. So be very careful. So a lot of this can be that. A lot of it can be part of marketing. I've given this company OnDeck my personal business application. It's qualified and returns. Guys harassed me for 3 days. Free to give information. Da, 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 da. They're replying back. You don't need this. So they're being more justifiable on that. So what you have to understand out of all of these, a lot of individuals don't come to this with the right understanding. You don't have the right education. Let's just face it. If you haven't seen my content before, you have, but you just haven't been taking time to go through it. I can see why you go to these extents and you put a complaint in because you're not understanding the education. It may not even be OnDeck's fault on a majority of these. It could be your own that you're not following the right guidelines and education that you need to know. Why isn't OnDeck right for you? Why is it? But if it is, why isn't it best to even go through that? So there are other instances where it does, others where it won't make sense. So what I would like for you to do, if you haven't, is fill out this questionnaire form down below that I more or less already showed you, or if I haven't, here it is. And you'll get a customized email response on your best funding option and options very thoroughly broken down. Here's another one. I want to show you this other form that I have created. It's kind of a front page. Yeah, this is the one. So it may look like this to start, and you'll select for which one applies to you. Are you startup or non-startup or non-startup? This one. So if you're startup, that won't work for you. That's not what OnDeck will do. And if you are a startup company and you're looking for alternative funding, perhaps 0% interest for 6 to 18 months, up to 150,000, up to 250,000, even as a non-startup, then I'll leave more information on that down below. Personal/startup loans if you qualify for them, angel investors. But that questionnaire form is what it's there for. So fill it out and I'll show you that more or less. So you can see all that. You see OnDeck USA, Canada, Australia. Core principles, we learned about that. Different types of small business loans. Back to the home page. You're signing up there, your accounts. Apply, click that button. So this is what you'll see in 4 steps: the basics, your business, then about you, and then the documentations will be provided. Just keep in mind, a lot of companies, with especially fintech companies, a lot of the times they have a safe and secure portal you can upload information to. Other times they'll say, hey, email us your documentation here. Either or, sometimes and or, depends on who you work with, but just be aware of that it's not a bad thing. It's just how it works a lot of the times. And as a broker, a lot of the times I'll ask you to send me the bank statements, the information before I send them over to, if it's on deck or if it's a different type of a lender. Other times it may be where you can upload documents online or send them to an email. It's okay either way. A lot of the times we can see things, especially with fintech companies that have a back office. We can see these things in our back office in our portal. But I'll let you know what's the best way to do it. How much funding do you think you may need? How soon do you need these? How will you use the loan? First name, last name, best contact number, email address, create an on-deck password if you don't have one. How'd you hear about us? How to referral coupon code, and then continue. And then you'll go into your business information about you and the documents. I won't spend time on that, but it's if you've gone through an application, you more or less know what to expect there. And it's safe and secure. Now, that's all I want to leave you with on OnDeck. And if you have not filled out that questionnaire form, I highly recommend you do. If you got value out of this, please give it a thumbs up. Share with others who you feel will get value out of it. If you haven't subscribed, please click that bell notification icon. Or I always say that first. So even I mess up with these video things. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content I will be coming out with. And overall, again, just be very careful about just applying with one. And if you're applying to that one, are they legitimate? Are they best for me? Do I fit into their bucket? They may have minimum requirements, but there's more scrutinizing than what you would know on the surface level. They don't get the best flexibility as you would have if you went to this location. So just because somebody is as credible as I'm saying here with OnDeck doesn't mean you should be going to them, and be very careful about what you're doing and the better benefits of forming a better strategic partnership and relationship and having the right roadmap. So that is everything from me. I will talk to you soon.